And good morning at 7:04 on this Wednesday, May 24th. It's time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to our program. The sun is shining this morning. It's going to be a great day in May, and we thank you for joining us. We're on the air for Cedar Stone Bank of Lebanon, Mount Juliet, Donaldson, Simple Banking, Simply Better. Robert McDonald is with us this morning, Vice President, Relationship Manager, and is at the office in Donaldson. Good morning.
Coleman, good morning.
How's your trip to Lebanon?
It's always a great trip up here, Coleman. The sun's rising, it's nice and pretty, and then that traffic starts on the way back. So, but I'll be up here a little bit later today at 9 o'clock. The Lebanon Special School District has their annual staff appreciation brunch, and so I'm on assignment for Bob today here, which I love being here with you, and looking forward to at Jones Brummett. I've never been to that campus.
Okay.
And so heading there for a 9 o'clock.
Well, you got something great to look forward to.
That's right.
But I hope you look forward to being with us here,
of course.
too. I know you do.
I always do. I love being here live and in person.
We were just talking about banking. I mean, a lot of what banking is all about is lending money.
Right.
And you lend a lot of money. People come and ask and get loans. But what we were telling me, and the reason I bring this up, although we are hearing negative things, and with some banks, a few have gone under, and it's caused concern, but you're going strong.
We're going strong, very solvent, and all of our great community banks, and of course Nashville, where I am, and then here definitely in Wilson County, are very solvent and very strong banks. That national news, those very unique situations, and the way that banks in our local area are managed and handled much differently. So we're going strong. People are still borrowing money, even though that, as we talked about, I know you and Bob do too, that interest rate increase. We've seen it on a historical level over the past year, but it's not really slowing down demand for borrowing money.
Well, those of us who might not be borrowing but have CDs.
It's nice. It's very, very nice for you all right now as well.
We're doing a little bit better,
right?
too.
That's exactly right.
But it's the thing about it, and Bob has mentioned this many times. It just hasn't seemed to have affected us here in Middle Tennessee. We're growing so much, and I don't think people are as concerned. I don't think they are.
I think we are a little bit sheltered, Coleman, even I think as you and Bob have talked about in the past as well, in that 07, 08 environment. Not anywhere near, well, what happened then is not anywhere what we're experiencing now. But even at that point in time, where we are in Middle Tennessee, we are growing, and we're growing stronger than ever. So we're a very safe community to be in right now.
Well, by the way, and you do your part to enhance the community. There's community involvement with Cedar Stone Bank, and I mentioned that to say that the Teacher of the Year is going to be on with me next week. So.
Yes, sir. That's wonderful.
And I was waiting to tell Bob that today, and I didn't know he was going to be on assignment, but I'm sure he'll be glad to know that.
He'll be glad to know it, and I'll be happy to let him know. If you want to wait, we can do it then. But yes, he'll be happy to know that, Coleman.
But in all three of your communities, in Lebanon and Mount Juliet, Donaldson, your people, you are involved to some extent in the community. It's part of what it's all about.
That's what it's all about. That's right. That's right, especially with the schools, right? It's hard to believe that the school year is winding down, but that's a big part of our communities, in my Donaldson community, and as you know, with Bob's involvement with Teacher of the Year and other local schools. So even though it's just a few short months, that ramps back up again. But Coleman, that's what we're all about, is serving our communities.
Well, people are borrowing money. Is it as easy to get a loan today as it was a year ago?
It is, Coleman. Of course, when it comes to underwriting, there's certain standards everybody has to adhere to, but it's just as easy as it was a year ago. And as we always talk about, it's important to establish that relationship. That makes it easier, right? So I know we talk about our free checking account and having a relationship with the bank. We want you to get to know us. We want to get to know you. So when that credit decision time comes, it's much easier for us to manage that for
And one of the great ways to get that relationship started is that free checking account.
Totally free, Coleman. As Bob mentioned it last week, you can use your debit card anywhere in the world. We reimburse that for an ATM charge. Online banking is free. We'll pay for your checks. For those that still want to write checks, and the mobile deposit, you can make that anywhere from your phone. That's also a free service, so it's a totally free account.
Well, now, speaking of writing checks, I don't write near as many as I used to, but every once in a while I almost have to.
And we have checks
Well,
for
I
it.
don't know. The way Bob talks, he never writes. I don't know how you get by with that, but I'm learning.
That's
Well,
good.
anyway, there are other free checking accounts,
Right.
but honestly, I don't know of one that's as good as Cedar Stone.
It's a great account. There's no loopholes. There's
You
no
just got some perks with that.
Does not require direct deposits or anything. There's no minimum balance requirement. So it really is a great account.
Well, we appreciate you being here, and hope you have a nice visit over to
Thank you, sir.
Joan Brummett this morning. I'm sure you will, and then you'll get back to Donaldson and lend some money today.
That's the plan.
Well, happy trails.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thank
Coleman. It's
you.
always
All right.
great being with you.
Robert L. Bob McDonald, but you don't go by Bob. Robert McDonald, I'm sorry. Well, that's true too, but you got the same name as your
Same
father.
name. That's
All
right.
But Vice President, Relationship Manager of the Donaldson branch of Cedar Stone Bank of Lebanon, Mount Juliet, Donaldson. Simple banking, simply better. Well, got a special guest this morning, and I'm about ready to introduce them. We've got Zion Logue is here, and if that name doesn't ring a bell, let me tell you that he was a star football player with the Lebanon High class of 2019, and his senior year, the 2018 team went 8-3, which is the best season that the Blue Devils had since 2004. He played defensive end and tight end for Coach Chuck Gentry, and his senior year, the LHS defense gave up just 11 points per game. He was rated as the number 13 player in the state of Tennessee by 24/7 Sports, and Rivals.com had him as a 4-star prospect. Also played basketball for Coach Jim McDowell. Zion Logue, good morning.
Thank you for having me on this morning.
Well, that's quite accomplishments that I read of what you did in high school.
Yes, sir. Yes,
And
sir.
it's really, really nice to have you. And let me say that many thanks to Tommy Bryan. He's the one who actually called me, said, you have a spot he might like to be on. Well, yeah, I'd love to have him, and yes, I do. And so he set you up, then he sent me the information about it. So Tommy's a mutual friend.
Yes, sir. Tommy Bryan's a great man.
How's summer going for you?
It's going very well right now. So the month of May is kind of my summer break. This is the time that I usually take off to be around my family, be around my friends, things like that. Because as soon as the month of June starts, that's when we start back our summer workout. So I'll be leaving out May 30th to head back down to Athens, Georgia to start back working out.
Oh, wow. So your time here is nearly gone.
Yeah, it's coming to an end very
All right,
fast.
you've got a friend here this morning. You want to introduce him?
This is Coach Barry. I'm just here to tell you a little bit about what we got going on with the summer with Zion. After talking to me, Zion, Tommy, and Coach Gentry, we got together. We've been working on this for about 2 years. Zion discussed with his mom that he wanted to start giving back to the community in any way possible. So what we did last summer with Zion while he was here was set up the Wilson County Omega Project with Coach Gentry. And as you're sitting here talking to the gentleman you had on first and talking about Brother McDonald, Cedar Stone Bank, has been intermissed, good with us by helping in the community, donating funds for all the events that we had last summer. So it's good that he was on this morning. That's why I told him he might want to sit down and stay and hear what we got to say about Cedar Stone Bank.
Well, I appreciate you saying that.
Yeah,
I didn't know that myself.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So moving forward, what we're here to talk about this morning is the Zion Logue 96 legendary football camp that we'll be having on May the 27th, which is this Saturday.
Yeah.
And it's free to the kids in the community. The aspects that we're going to have is the mental health aspect of it. We're going to talk about the physical aspect of it. And we're going to let Zion talk to the kids about, what the transition is from high school to college and moving forward to where you are right now. So that's kind of where we are right now.
Well, this is a way for you, Zion, to give back a little bit here.
Yes, sir.
And I guess show appreciation for where you got your start, so to speak. You have to be pretty good, play college football, and we've got to say congratulations. You've had 2 national championships.
Yes, sir.
when
Thank you
played
so
on
much.
that team.
Yes, sir. I have.
What do you we'll get to, we got to go to a break in a minute. So let me just ask you this. We'll talk a lot about what's coming up Saturday when we come back. But it's you've been national champs twice. How does this year look? I mean, there's a lot of good teams, and of course, Alabama is one that probably you think about more than the others in the SEC. What's it look like this year?
It looks very good. You know, every year we go into the season thinking that we're one of those top 5 teams, the top 2 teams. So when we put our best foot forward every week, we just have to take care of the SEC East and then let everything else take care of itself. So I mean, we really don't look at it like the longevity of it. We look for it just taking one step at a time.
You adapted to college life pretty well. Yes, he's nodding. Yes, you do have to study a little bit.
Oh yes, sir. But like that comes back to high school. Start your study habits in high school, so it's even easier for when you get to college and you're on your own. So, but I adapted very fast to college.
All right, we got to take a break right here, but Zion Logue is my guest this morning. This is Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to our friends at Absolute Kubota, big sales blitz going on now. 0% financing for 84 months on most models, plus add an attachment to your tractor, get implement bonus bucks up to $800 off, or take a cash discount of $2,400 on select models. This is for in-stock models only. Sales blitz will end May 31st. Absolute Kubota, 1506 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Still some heavy traffic volume making its way out of Rutherford County as we stare at it live here on 24 westbound and through the Hickory Hollow area. It's busy through the Mount Juliet area as that traffic builds coming in from Wilson County towards Nashville on 40 westbound, arriving there in Hermitage and Donaldson. Nash Painting, they service all of Middle Tennessee. If you want your house painted right the first time, call these guys, nashpainting.com. Go check them out online. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Get ready for the ultimate barbecue and country music festival, Barbecue Country Fest 2023. Join us in the smoke-filled, fire-breathing, steak-sizzling heaven on June 3rd at the Wilson County Fairgrounds in Lebanon. Hear country music stars Billy Dean, Chad Brock, and Andy Griggs perform live. Plus, John Party will be there filming the final episode of Barbecue Country and crowning a backyard barbecue champion. Get your tickets today at bbqcountry.com.
Gregory Dental Group in Lebanon is a family dental practice located across from Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital. They offer cosmetic procedures, dental implant services, and now featuring new digital dentures. Premium dentures in just 2 appointments. No insurance, no problem. Call about our discount plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Derek Gregory. In my office, you can count on compassionate staff who will truly listen to you, take the time to get to know you, and discuss your personal needs. I look forward to meeting you.
Gregory Dental Group, 444-0322, West Medora Parkway across from Gibbs Pharmacy.
All right, we'll continue here on this Wednesday morning. Thanks for joining us again. Special guest this morning, Zion Logue, former LHS star football player, and he's been with the Georgia Bulldogs and on 2 national championship teams, going back in a few days to begin the final year as a senior at University of Georgia. But he's here along with Coach Earl Berry, and we want to talk about what you're doing. It's coming up this Saturday. The Zion's Camp is what you're calling this. Where's this going to be?
So it's going to be at my alma mater, Lebanon High School. It's been something that we've had in the works for about 2 years now, and it's something that I've always wanted to do. I really wanted to do it last year, but all the things weren't aligning in my schedule and everything we were wanting to do, so we kind of pushed it back to this year, and everything kind of just fell in line. So it's been a blessing.
Okay, you and Coach Berry guide us through this. It's totally free, I understand.
Yes, sir.
And what times it start? What times it end? What can we expect?
The camp starts at 9 o'clock. It's from 9 to 1. In the beginning, we'll have the introduction by Coach Gentry and Zion, and then we'll move into the phase of we'll probably let training staff talk to the kids about health and keeping themselves fit, and having them understand how they have to hydrate no matter how old you are. And then we're transitioning to the on the field stuff. Get that out of the way. Let the kids have a little fun. We may have a few awards for whoever win those drills, and then after that, we're going to feed everybody as well. We got T-shirts for all the kids that registered ahead of time. We're not turning anybody away. Even if you didn't register, you can still bring your kid out on Saturday morning and have that. We'll also have a mental health aspect for the kids to understand how to take care of themselves mentally, as well as from an educational aspect. How you have to transition from the 8th grade to high school, and then from high school to prepare yourself from college. It's kind of the same thing, because in both of those instances, your freshman year of high school is one of your most important years, because that builds the foundation for the rest of your high school. And in college, your freshman year is your most important year academically, as well as on the field, where you begin to transition and understand this is what you have to do to move forward in order to try to be great, or try to put yourself in being a great position as a young person, be it be male or female. And then after that, we're going to feed them, have fun, and hopefully we tire them out for their parents and send them home, and their parents can have a wonderful day.
How many are you expecting?
As of yesterday, we had right at 200 registered. And we're just looking to have a good time. We want kids from all over the county. This is just not a Lebanon thing. This is open to any kid that want to come. We'll sign a few autographs. We got cards and stuff for them. Like I said, we got backpacks and stuff for them. So we're just looking to have a good time. And it's just helping us lead to some of the stuff we want to do in the summer with the kids. We got bowling afternoons with the kids. We got movie nights with the kids, and possibly a couple of pool parties in the summer.
Yeah. Well, Zion, you're going to kind of be in the spotlight here, an opportunity for you probably to sign a lot of autographs, which you probably are accustomed to doing by now, to get to know some of these future football players. So a good way, I guess, for you to give back to the school and the whole community.
Oh yes, sir. And I see a lot of these kids, because I try to be around, or try to be as in tune with the community as much as possible. So I see a lot of these kids playing at AAU and playing at the high school or playing at the middle schools. So it's going to be great just to be out there, to be around those kids, because I know they all look up to me, and they kind of want to be like where I'm at today. So
I suppose every college football player that achieves the level that you have at least has some thoughts about playing professional football, and I want to ask you that is that on your radar? I mean, are you hopeful maybe to play in the NFL?
Oh yes, sir. That's always been the dream since a little boy. But my number one goal was to go to college and get my degree, and I'm on my way to do that. I graduate this December, so that's going to be the biggest accomplishment for me, that I believe. And then everything else is going to take care of itself, because the draft comes and the combine comes after the season, so everything is really falling in line for me right now.
What have you been studying? What's your major?
My major is sociology.
Yeah. Well, let's say you play football, pro football for a while, but eventually, is something else you want to fall back on?
Oh, yes, sir. So down at the university, I do a lot of our interviews and things like that. So I really want to do sports broadcasting when everything's over with. Like I love stats. I know a lot about people. I know a lot about guys' numbers and things like that. So sports broadcasting is my big thing, what I really want to do after football.
Well, our best to you in that regard. But you got this senior year yet, and one more national championship would really look good, wouldn't it?
Yes, sir. Then I have 11 rings on my hand, because you get 7. We got 7 last year, and then the year prior we only got 3 because we didn't win the SEC championship. So I got 7 rings.
Could you explain to them what those rings are? Because you said you got 7.
Yes, sir.
The people like, okay, you only won 2, but
right.
Can you kind of explain what that means?
So you get a ring for making it to the college football playoffs as a whole, and then you get a ring for winning the SEC championship, which we did last year. We didn't do it in 2021. And then you get a ring for winning the semifinal game and then winning the national championship. So that all adds up to 7 rings.
What are you going to do with all? You can't wear them all at once.
Put them in a lockbox and lock them away.
But they are treasures.
Yes, sir.
I'm trying to be funny here this morning. Coach Berry, you got to be proud of his accomplishments. And
Well, it's not just me. It's Coach Gentry, Coach Fry, Coach Williams, Coach Freeman, Coach Carter, Coach Brady. It's our entire staff as well as the academic administration at Lebanon. And that just goes for any kid that comes out of Wilson County or any county. You know, it takes a village, it takes a family, it takes an administration, need it be athletic, need it be the administration-wise. You know, as Zion said last week when we were talking to our lovely lady back there, Miss MJ, that, you know, when Coach Gentry first came with his staff and this thing started to take off with him and Chandler Cright being recruited by all of these different universities. You know, Coach Gentry sat down with both of those individuals as well as everybody else that was being recruited at that time and explained to them academically wise. You know, he opened the book and says, this is what you have going on right now. You know, even though you got a 3.0 GPA, but your core GPA may be a 2.4, maybe a 2.5, 2.6. I need you to try to raise that to a 3.0 because that allows you to put yourself in position for these Power 5 schools and other universities that have high academic standards to come in and you be able to receive those scholarships. So, you know, he did that with Zion and, you know, he does that with all the kids. You know, just like yesterday, he was sitting down explaining camp stuff and academics to Jack Kleiner, want to be our senior kids this year. So the staff and the administration try to put all our kids in a position to win, you know, the position to work hard, as well as try to explain to their parents, you know, what it all means. And, you know, Zion parents, you know, stepped up to the plate, and I'll just let him explain, you know, how his mom and family stay on him academically wise to put himself in the position where he is right now.
So, like he said, my mom really pushed me when the time came for me to start getting these offers. They put me in all types of ACT preps, all types of just extra tutoring sessions because that's what I really needed to get out of myself and to get to where I wanted to be today. So I give a lot of kudos to my mother, to Coach G, Coach McDowell. They all bound together and they told me they were going to help me out as best as they could to get me to college, and they really did.
Well, I had forgotten that you did play basketball.
Yes,
Coach
sir,
McDowell.
I did. 4 years.
You must like football a little better, but basketball, I guess, is okay.
If I could have been 6'10", I'd rather play basketball. But hey, football works out for me.
How hard has it been academically at the University of Georgia?
It's very tough. They demand a lot out of you, but at the same time, they're going to help you out a lot. And if you give them a little bit of a push and a little bit of work, they'll help you, and they'll make sure you get to where you want to get to. And I really tip my hat to University of Georgia because when we went down there on my visit, they told my mother, "I'm going to take care of your son. He's going to get his degree, and he's going to accomplish everything in his life that he wanted to." And I really believe that, and it's coming to fruition now.
Well, I got to say something. Two things. One thing I want to mention is Liz Reese, I believe your aunt.
Yes, sir.
Who I hope is listening this morning. She's been on the program several times. Been a wonderful person here in our community, and I'm sure you're proud of her too.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I am proud of my aunt. Yes,
and
sir.
I've done lost my train of thought. But anyway, I was going to ask you as far as when you started as a freshman. It's a totally different, but I'm sure with the help of people like Coach Berry here, you are going to succeed if at all possible, and I think the whole community here is proud of what you've been able to do. There's everybody that goes to play college football doesn't end up as successful as you've been. That's for sure.
Yes, sir. When I left to go off to college. It's a man named Kirby Smart who sits with a microphone like this sitting in front of me when you're doing everything from walkthroughs to team runs to workouts, and he let me have it the first couple of weeks, and I really appreciate him for it because I needed it. I needed that person to come out of me, and I couldn't ask for a better situation going down to University of Georgia.
But there is discipline that you have to encounter, and it's for your good if it's done in the right way, of course.
Yes, sir.
And some coaches can be pretty demanding.
Oh yeah, yes sir. He's definitely demanding because we have our student athlete building for like tutoring and things like that is across the street from our practice facility, and like we're usually outside practicing, and he's on the mic, and we'll come out of practice and everybody will be like, we heard him yelling on the mic. He said this, and this, and it's just like it's funny sometimes, but that's just the person that he is.
I know what I was going to say. Tommy Bryan was telling me when you had the school event the other night that you attended, and you were there helping take care of things and put it away and clean up tables and whatever when it was all over, which said a lot to me.
Yes, sir. That's just me. That's who I've always been. If it's something that needs to be done, I don't care who I am. I'm gonna help that. I'm gonna help whoever it is to get it done. And those are my family. So I felt like I had to do that.
We got a minute left here, and I want Coach Berry to just thumbnail what's happening. It's all free for these youngsters this Saturday morning.
Yes, sir. Everything is free Saturday morning for everybody to come out. We already got 200 kids registered. We're expecting to have more to come out and enjoy themselves. We want the parents to come out and watch it. They want to ask a few questions. We'll ask questions as well. But what I really want to do is thank our sponsor, Southeast Impressions. And as I said, Cedar Stone Bank has given to the Wilson County Omega Project in the past. Last year, you want to thank the Blue Devil Football Foundation as well as Lebanon High and Coach Gentry allowing Team Zion Load to put this together and put this vision where we need to be, as well as, Coach Job, Chavez Job, he helped out a lot of kids in the summer with his OTA camp, and we are expecting him to be there as well, to talk to the kids, give a little insight, and last but not least, we're sitting here talking about Zion, and, as we told Miss MJ last week, it's not just about Zion, it's about the community. And, we want everybody to be behind Zion just like we're behind coaching. And all our kids that we got that's doing good at whatever university they are right now, because that's the best thing we got going, because, one day they're going to be taking care of us. And as Zion said, he want to be in sports broadcasting. Maybe one day you can kind of tune him and give him a little insight, Coleman, on how this thing is done and moving forward in the future.
Well, thank you very much for coming out this morning. You've added a lot to our program, Coach Earl Berry. And Zion Logue, thank you so much for your time. I wish you well, and it's been nice to have you.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much
we
for
appreciate you having us.
That is part one of Coleman and Company. Keep it here for more. FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to our friends at Bates Ford, that regular oil change, $39.95 up to 5 quarts oil, tax and disposal, $16.73 West Main. Now with traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Still a little bit active out here with a couple of accidents. That one, 1600 block at Church Street in Midtown. Had some injuries. The fire department's still there. OHB at Randy Road. That's going to be up in Madison area as traffic increases even more on 24. Trying to get out of Rutherford County on 24 westbound up through the Hickory Hollow area. Hey, it's time to call Crest Pest Control. These guys do way more than the average pest control company. Check out a list of their services online right now at crestpestcontrol.net. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Simple banking, simply better. Since 2004, that's been our motto at Cedar Stone Bank. I'm Bob McDonald. We know that financial decisions can sometimes be complicated, but that doesn't mean solutions have to be. Whether you're buying a new home, renovating your existing home, or buying a car, or maybe you're a business that needs to purchase equipment for the building you operate from, we have all the technology that will allow you to do your banking online or on the telephone, or you can come in one of our beautiful branches and see our great people. With locations in Lebanon, Mount Juliet, and Nashville, Cedar Stone Bank. Simple banking, simply better.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Collier Engineering is a civil engineering design firm that can provide surveying for your home or property. A family-owned business in Nashville, Collier Engineering has multiple employees in Wilson County, including survey manager Dan Curry. He's a registered land surveyor and a certified floodplain surveyor. He would love the opportunity to assist with your surveying needs. Visit collierengineering.com. Call 931-510-2800. Mention this ad and get 10% off.
A few clouds coming our way this Wednesday, but temperatures will stay on the warm side. We start off in the 60s and 70s, heading for a high of 81 this afternoon. There will be a gentle breeze to enjoy and still a slight chance for pop-up showers. This weather forecast is brought to you by Walker Auction and Realty, professional auction and real estate services. Get top dollar for your home, land, or personal property. Log on to MikeWalkerAuctions.com. They know auctions. That's a look at your forecast. I'm number one Ned.
And we welcome you to part two of Coleman and Company. And here on this Wednesday, it's time for us to talk about Herc Rentals, 1325 West Main in Lebanon. Dave Hurst is the branch manager, and he is usually here to talk about all that's going on there at 1325 West Main Street. Haven't seen Dave so far this morning, so we'll remind you, one of the things we've talked about for years is the phone number. And of course, Herc Rentals was formerly Absolute Rental and Supply till about this time a year ago when it became Herc Rentals. And of course, Herc is located all over the country, as I understand it, and with other places in Middle Tennessee, which really means there's more equipment available. And if they don't have it here in Lebanon, they can usually get it for you at one of the other places if it's something that's much in demand, this sort of thing. But the telephone number has remained the same, and that's 615-443-RENT, R-E-N-T, 615-443-RENT. Their website is hercrentals.com, and just keep them in mind when it's time for equipment and tool rental. They specialize in contractor equipment rental as well as homeowner equipment rental, and are a leading equipment rental center for this area, of course. Experienced staff is comfortable helping customers select the right equipment for their job or project. Rental equipment inventory is quite diverse. We used to say it includes everything from wallpaper steamers to bulldozers, and I think it still does, and quite a bit more, including outdoor power equipment such as chainsaws, brush cutters, blowers, and trimmers. Dethatchers, aerators, and tillers are very popular during the spring and summer. And of course, the larger equipment such as backhoes, skid steer loaders, reach forklifts, aerial personnel lifts, dozers, track loaders, track hoes, and a lot more. 1325 is the location. It's really a fine place because there's plenty of room. Spacious parking lot. If you've got a big rig that you want to take in there and maybe get your equipment loaded on it, well, they've got plenty of room for that. And of course, delivery is another thing you'll find at Herc Rentals. If you don't have the means to transport the piece of equipment that you're renting for a nominal fee, they will have it at you at the designated time. When you're through, you call and they'll come and pick it up. Now, another thing that we want to mention, last week when Dave was here, he mentioned that with this being Memorial Day weekend, or the weekend, well, this is just Wednesday, but Memorial Day weekend, they will be closed on Memorial Day. So anything that you want to rent and I'm not sure about this Saturday morning, but by Friday anyway, you can rent it for the whole weekend and get it back Tuesday, and you'll just be charged for the hours that you use. It's going to be a little bit more convenient for somebody that's got a lot to do this weekend, a little more time to have that piece of equipment and get the job done. Open Monday through Friday, 7 to 5, and most Saturdays are open from 7 to noon. And again, Dave Hurst is the branch manager for Herc Rentals. And just keep them in mind. If many times there's something that you need, you really don't want to go buy a piece of equipment. You can rent it, get the job done. You may not need to do that. Use that piece of equipment for a year or two. So that's what Herc Rentals is all about. They're there to serve you, take care of your needs, and they have just about anything that you would want to get the job done. Herc Rentals, 1325 West Main in Lebanon. Dave Hurst, again, is the branch manager. Website, hercrentals.com, and the phone number is 615-443-RENT. Well, here on this Wednesday morning, my anticipated guest has not arrived either. Is everybody starting Memorial Day weekend early? I don't think so. It's just one of those things. By the way, Dr. Patel is here, and this is about the time that we would get started. About this time, Dave Hurst would be getting out of the chair, and Dr. Patel would be getting in, which she has just done. And Dr. Adel Patel, Lebanon Family Pharmacy, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm glad you made it. You're just on time. This is when we're supposed to begin, so we're not late. Everything's lovely. It's good to see you.
Thank you. Good to see you too.
Well?
Going well.
Yeah.
It is absolutely perfect. It's a beautiful day.
Well, what's Memorial Day weekend look like for you?
Well, we're going to be closed for 4 days for Memorial Day, and just going to spend some time with some family. We lost a family member day before yesterday, so trying to get everything's ready for that, and it's been a whirlwind week. So we're kind of getting there as a family, But great thing is that when we come back from Memorial Day, June the 1st is going to be our 2nd year anniversary. It's already been 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah, 2 years, and
well, you've been with us a good part of that time.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's been a pleasure. So we just wanted to let people know that there's going to be, some activities planned for our patients and the community at the pharmacy on June 1st. Lots of cookies and cupcakes, and there's going to be some ice cream. We're going to be offering free henna tattoos, which is natural and organic, safe for kids, for the community. The kids can just come hang out. A lot of them are going to be out of school now, so they need some activities to do. Yeah. So they can spend a couple hours at the pharmacy. That would be great.
Well, your location is 1311 West Main. It's down there in a shopping center environment type thing. You have one of the buildings there that also includes that shoe store, Marty and Liz.
Yes.
There's a pizza place there, I believe.
Papa John's, yes.
And what else is in there?
Bargain Hunt. So we're right next to Bargain Hunt. Okay. There's a nail salon place. Lots of activities. There's an ice cream shop there as well.
Right. And plenty of free parking.
Yes,
that's
a lot of
nice.
Parking. Yes, that is correct.
1311 West Main, Lebanon Family Pharmacy. So I know there's several things you want to talk about, and what's the first thing on your mind now that we get down to business here?
Well, the first thing I want to let people know that I know school is out right now, but people are already planning for the next year. They have to get caught up on their physicals. They have to get caught up on their vaccinations and stuff like that. And we are actually the first pharmacy in Tennessee that received a VFC status. What that means is a Vaccines for Children is a CDC program that we're approved for. So through that program, we're able to offer free vaccinations to all children under 18 in Wilson County. All children under 18.
No financial thing
No. If you have insurance, that's fine. If you don't have insurance, that's okay as well. So basically, it's just like going to the health department and getting a vaccination. So any insurance status, and if you have insurance and you can't get into your pediatrician's office, or kind of going through a transition and can't afford to go to a pediatrician's office, then they can come to our pharmacy. There's no visit charge like we charge at the doctor's office. Basically, you're just visiting a pharmacy, so there's no charge for that.
Well, I'm guessing that as word has gotten out about this, you're having more people, more and more come by.
Yeah, absolutely. We have a lot of families that are transitioning from one state to the other. We have some families that are immigrant families that has just moved from a different country and need all of this sorted out. Some families that have language barriers that moved here and can't figure out things for themselves. So we have a lot of people, and word of mouth is what is our best friend right now, because once somebody finds out, they will always tell other families. And every single person that has came to our pharmacy have ended up transferring their prescriptions here because because they are like, well, we did not expect this kind of service from a pharmacy. Like, you don't expect anything from us. I mean, we were just talking and you advised me on a product that I wasn't even asking about. Like, you just figured out that that's probably what I need. And it always turns out to be that sometimes with experience, the stuff you recommend, it always turns out to be something that the patient was looking for, but just didn't know how to tell you.
Is there a particular time that's best for somebody to come for these immunizations?
They can call anytime they want. We're open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. We're closed Saturdays and Sundays now, but anytime during those business hours, they can call us and we can either set up an appointment for them to come, or they can, just stop by. A pharmacist is always going to be there to help them.
Is it okay to walk in for that?
Yeah, absolutely. You can walk in anytime.
Of course, it depends on how busy you are. Could be a little wait time. If you have an appointment now, some doctors are meticulous about being on time. Others, sometimes you have to wait. How is it with you? Do you stay on schedule pretty well?
We do most of the times, and if somebody has set up an appointment, we'll call the day ahead and we'll confirm the appointment. Hey, you have set this up tomorrow. We hope to see you at that time. And then maybe if they're like 15 minutes late, we give them like about 15 minutes grace time, and then we'll call them again that, hey, you had an appointment at 2 today. We didn't see you. What's going on? Is there anything that we can do to help you reschedule? So we make the effort like before the appointment, if they miss the appointment, because we want to make sure that these kids are vaccinated.
Yeah.
We want to make sure that they're able to go to school. So we try to stay on top of it.
What is required? Could we go through that right quick? We'll go to a break. What immunizations are required?
So for the 7th graders right now, the Tdap, which is the Boostrix, is the one that's recommended that they need to get it before they can get in school. For pre-K and kindergartners, mostly all of the ACIP recommended vaccinations. So they have to be up to date on their MMR, their varicella, their hepatitis vaccines, their flu vaccine, and all of that. So we're able to luckily do all of those vaccinations at the pharmacy.
Most people know that, or they just come and say, give me what I need.
Well, a lot of people don't, and a lot of people are confused. So the good thing about our pharmacy is that we are associated with the Tennessee Department of Health. So we do have access to this software that we all use at the health department, at our pharmacy, doctor's offices, pediatricians. We all share the same software, and everybody gives the vaccinations are supposed to log in that software that what vaccination did the person get and where did they get it. So we're able to log into that system and check, and then we tell them that, they're like, well, I'm just here. My kid needs to go to school. I don't know what they need. Well, okay, give me your name, give me your date of birth, and we'll go from there. So we look in the software and we say, okay, this is what they have gotten in the past and this is what they're still missing. And then after they're done with their vaccinations, we're able to print them an official certificate that is by the Tennessee Department of Health and sign off on it and tell them that take this to your school and they will consider this as your completed vaccination series.
All right, very good. Dr. Hadel Patel, my guest, Lebanon Family Pharmacy. A break right here. This is Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to our friends at Absolute Kubota Big Sales Blitz going on now. 0% financing for 84 months on most models. Plus, add an attachment to your tractor to get implement bonus bucks up to $800 off, or take a cash discount of $2,400 on select models. This is for in-stock models only, and the Blitz will end May 31st. Absolute Kubota, 1506 West Main. Now with traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Still quite a bit of volume trying to get in right now from Rutherford County towards Nashville on 24 westbound and through the Hickory Hollow area. Starting to slow down even more at times as you come 40 westbound at Donaldson Pike, coming through Hermitage, Donaldson, down from the north. That's a little bit busy through that section of Millersville and Sumner County on 65 southbound. Hey, Nash Painting, they service all of Middle Tennessee. If you want your house painted by professionals, and I'm sure you do, get it done right the first time. Log on today, nashpainting.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Hey, it's Peyton Aldridge from The Voice. I'll be performing my new single, American Backyard, at the Ultimate Barbecue and Country Music Festival, Barbecue Country Fest 2023, June 3rd at Wilson County Fairgrounds. There will be plenty of food trucks, bourbon, and beer tasting, live music, and free parking, so get your tickets today at bbqcountry.com. You're in barbecue country, y'all.
When you needed portable heating, cooling, generators and remediation equipment, contractor tools, or any other equipment or solution to help you get the job done, you trusted Absolute Rental and Supply. Now that same team brings you more equipment and more solutions as Herc Rentals. From construction and industrial to HVAC and homeowner, Herc Rentals has the gear and expertise to get jobs done efficiently, effectively, and safely. Visit us today at 1325 Main Street in Lebanon or online at hercrentals.com. That's HERC Rentals.com.
We continue here on this Wednesday morning. Dr. Taylor Patel, Lebanon Family Pharmacy, located at 1311 West Main. And give out that phone number if you want to write this down, 615-547-9556, 547-9556. And you said 2 years.
Yeah, 2 years.
About 2 years since then. You're going to be celebrating.
Yes, we will be celebrating. It's a great achievement for us and the community as well. Just being here, the community has welcomed us with open arms. They have, shown the love that they would show to their own. And I think that's a big statement when it comes to about our community. People are like, why Lebanon? Why move here? Why Wilson County? Well, this is why. Because it's great.
Well, where were you previously?
So I used to work for a chain pharmacy. I never owned my own business or in any community, but always talking about wanting to own my own business because my parents were business owners and everybody in the extended family were, and I did not want to go the traditional routes of business that they were choosing. So I grew up in Pigeon Forge in Sevierville area. I went to Pigeon Forge High School and then moved to Nashville for a job. And then just, wanted to start a family. So started to look around, well, what's a great place that I can settle down and stay for years and retire maybe, and what's a good community that my children can grow up and have a good background, a good family, background. And Wilson County was the thing that always came up in my research, and they're like, Wilson County is a great county. Just, try to move there if you can. And hearing from all these family members and friends, we're like, okay, well, that's where we're moving.
Well, a lot of times, even though it's a great place, it can still be difficult when you have your place and you, as I say, hang that shingle out there, you're open for business. There's no guarantee that you're going to make it. I mean, there's some risk involved, and you know that, of course. But you have a plan and you are implementing it, and I'd say if you've got 2 years under your belt, things are looking pretty good.
They are, and I always tell people, and they always ask me. I've done a few other, programs for my school. I have done a few interviews for the news channels. I've done a few interviews for APHA, which is American Pharmacists Association, and they were all like, "Well, you decided to open in between COVID." And they're like, how are you doing this? Or how are you even successful doing all of this in between COVID and with so much, competition around you? And I was like, well, the plan was always simple. If I want to get something from the community, I have to give something back. I have to be involved for people to be involved in me. For people to be interested in me and my business, I have to be interested in other people and their businesses and, give the community back. And if I don't do that, there's, little chance that I'm going to be successful in the community.
Well, I think there's no question. You've been about as involved as you've had time for and can be.
Yes, absolutely. We try. We really do try. And I mean, sometimes it's a struggle with, being a pharmacist, a mom, a business owner, a caretaker for two elderly people, and kind of running around with, trying to get all the friends and family in a row. But it's great. I mean, just to be who you are.
Well, in talking with you the several times that you've been here, one of the things that I've been impressed with is honestly, is how much you seem to know, especially about pharmaceuticals, the pharmaceutical industry, about health, about what's good, what's bad. I think you are in a position to really advise people and have a heart to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. So the school that I graduated from is an interprofessional college. So we had doctors, we had physician assistants, we had nurses, we had podiatrists, we had pharmacists. All of these students took all of the classes together for the first 3 years. And then for the fourth year, we would all go on our respective rotations. So the first 3 years, what that put in perspective for all of us as healthcare professionals is, how can we build a team that we can work together to take care of the patient as a whole? Because sometimes there's a disconnect between the patient, the doctors, the pharmacies, the nurses, and, there's just not a lot of communication going around. And that's where, sometimes patients slip through the cracks and kind of, just fall off the wagon in one way. So what I've tried to do is, while I'm advising patients on, counseling, because I get more face time with the patients than the physicians do. So I will ask questions. I will ask about their general health. I'll ask about their diet. I'll ask about the supplements that they're taking. And if I'm recommending something new to them, I will make sure that they tell their doctor's office. Or if I'm familiar with that PCP, I will give them a call and be like, hey, so-and-so stopped by here, and this is the plan that we have made, and this is what we're going to be working on. Are you guys on board with that? So they will add a note in the patient's file as well. So, it's a circle, and that's how we end up taking care of it.
And here again, you've mentioned this several times. Just because something might be good for you, it might not be. If you've got something else, it's not going to interact with properly.
Yes.
And that's something I think you've shown great concern about, and want to make sure that everything is working together for good, whether it's a prescription, a food supplement, or whatever, so that they're not going against each other, but working for them.
Absolutely. And that's what the doctors want. The doctors really are scared because the treatment that they're providing, they don't want somebody that just with little knowledge of holistic medicine and background to come in and recommend something to their patients, and then they're like, well, this is going to interact with what they're taking. So as a pharmacist, that puts me in a unique role where I already know what the patients are taking because I have their profile from the doctor's office. But then I can check the interactions of what I'm recommending, and that gives me better knowledge about the patient as a whole. And I think the doctors are more comfortable with the pharmacist doing those recommendations versus anybody else, because they know that, okay, the pharmacist is on top of their interactions. They know that sometimes we even end up catching the doctor's mistakes when they're prescribing stuff. So they know that we're on top of our medicine knowledge. So they are comfortable with us making those recommendations. And sometimes, they'll call us and be like, well, I'm glad that you recommended this for our patients because they're doing great. Their labs are really good, and whatever you told them to do, it's working out for them.
Yeah, and sometimes the reason a person gets in the shape they're in is because they have lacked some good nutrition in the past, perhaps. It's just that any food supplements or anything that you're going to be taking to enhance the thing you're in, that it doesn't interfere with the medication. And I think that is so important.
It is. And over time, our metabolism tends to go down as well. So a lot of absorption of those nutrients end up going down. And then if you're on certain kind of medications, those medications actually stop the absorption of some of the nutrients from the food that you're eating. And so that kind of, causes a little more problems overall. A lot of times diabetic patients, they always complain, why am I so tired? Why don't I have so much energy before? I started, I'm on metformin for years and years now, and I feel like every year my energy is just going down. Well, it's because metformin stops the absorption of one of the key nutrients in your body that helps you with that energy feeling, and so a lot of people don't realize that. And so when we kind of do that assessment with the patients, we'll let them know that, hey, have your doctor's office draw the levels for this certain nutrient history and see like, what the levels are. And then we can talk to the doctor's office about what we want to recommend.
But the thing with you have, in your learning and all that you went through, you've learned so much about this. You know what you're saying. You know what you're talking about. I mean, that's the impression I get here with all that you've studied to put it all together.
Yeah, absolutely. And, that's just where that one step extra that you want to take for your patient comes in. Not everybody is willing to do what I'm doing. Not everybody is willing to put that extra time because sometimes they don't have that time to spend with the patients. Not all pharmacies are slow like our pharmacy where we have the time. And, even with us being busy now than we were before, I make sure that I'm going to have enough resources to make sure that we have enough time to spend with the patient. So from in the back of my head, like I always think that what is it that's different that I want to do for my patients that's going to make a difference in their lives? Because the whole mission about opening the pharmacy and the goal was not just to make profit or make money, but how can I use my knowledge that I have to make somebody else's life better as well?
Well, our time is about up. We got another minute here, but Dr. Hadel Patel with Lebanon Family Pharmacy. You've said you've had a death in the family. You going to be closed any time here?
Yes. We'll be closed Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday.
Okay, 4 days.
4 days, and then everybody's prescriptions that are due around those 4 days, we'll fill them on Thursday, which is tomorrow.
So you need, everybody that needs you needs to see you by tomorrow, Thursday.
Yes, that's
and then
correct.
it'll be next Tuesday before you'll be back.
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, but we'll be sure and get that word out there again tomorrow, and then not until next Tuesday.
Yes, that is
four
correct.
days off. But we offer our sympathy in this situation here, and hope the best for you here. But it's one of those things we all have to encounter from time to time.
That is correct. That is correct.
And we just appreciate having you with us, and a lot of good information that you've given us this morning. Let me just remind everybody again as we close, Dr. Hadel Patel, Lebanon Family Pharmacy, 1311 West Main, and that phone number is 615-547-9556. We'll see you next time. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Coleman.
That is it for a Wednesday. Join us tomorrow if you will. Till then, I wish you a wonderful day.